I stand before you, a jester in a world that often feels too serious, too heavy. You see me on stage, microphone in hand, laughter spilling from my lips like a river of joy. But what you don't see is the weight I carry behind the curtain. The truth is, being a comedian in Nigeria is a dance on a tightrope, a balancing act between the absurd and the painful, the joyous and the tragic. You might think it's all about the punchlines, the quick wit, the ability to make people laugh until they cry. And yes, that's part of it. But there's so much more lurking beneath the surface. Every joke I tell is a piece of my soul laid bare, a reflection of the world around me, a world that is often chaotic and unpredictable. I grew up in a country where laughter is a survival mechanism, where humor is a balm for the wounds of everyday life. My childhood was filled with the sounds of my mother's laughter, her way of coping with the struggles of raising 5 children in a cramped apartment. She would tell us stories, weaving humor into the fabric of our reality, teaching us that even in the darkest moments, there is light to be found. But as I grew older, I realized that the laughter we shared was often a mask, a way to shield ourselves from the harsh truths of our existence. I remember the day my father lost his job. The weight of that silence in our home was suffocating. My mother tried to fill the void with jokes, but the laughter felt forced, a desperate attempt to keep the darkness at bay. It was in that moment I understood the duality of humor. It can uplift, but it can also hide the pain. When I finally stepped onto the stage for the first time, I was terrified. The spotlight felt like a spotlight on my insecurities, my fears, my failures. But as I delivered my first joke, I felt the audience respond, their laughter washing over me like a warm embrace. In that moment, I realized that I could turn my pain into something beautiful, something that could connect us all. I could take the struggles of my life, the absurdities of our society, and transform them into laughter. But the life of a comedian is not all glitz and glamour. There are nights when the laughter doesn't come, when the audience sits in silence, their faces blank, and I'm left standing there, exposed and vulnerable. Those moments are the hardest. It's like standing naked in front of a crowd, baring your soul, and having them turn away. I've learned that rejection is part of the game, but it doesn't make it any easier. And then there are the critics. Oh, the critics. They sit behind their screens, armed with their keyboards, ready to tear apart every joke, every nuance, every attempt at humor. I've had my fair share of harsh reviews, comments that cut deep, that make me question my worth, my talent, but I've also learned to embrace the criticism, to use it as fuel. Every negative comment is a reminder that I'm pushing boundaries, that I'm making people think, even if it's uncomfortable. In Nigeria, comedy is a reflection of our society, a mirror held up to our faces. We laugh at our politicians, our leaders, the absurdity of our daily lives. But that laughter can be dangerous. I've seen comedians arrested for jokes deemed too provocative, too close to the bone. It's a delicate dance, knowing where to draw the line, how to navigate the treacherous waters of satire. I've had to learn to be clever, to be subtle, to weave my critiques into the fabric of my humor without drawing too much attention to them. And then there's the pressure to succeed. In a country where opportunities are scarce, where the entertainment industry is still finding its footing, the stakes are high. I often find myself torn between my passion for comedy and the need to provide for my family. There are days when I question whether I should trade the microphone for a more stable job, a 9-to-5 that offers security but stifles my creativity. But then I remember the laughter, the joy I bring to others, and I can't help but push through the doubt. The camaraderie among comedians is a lifeline. We share our struggles, our triumphs, our fears. We understand the unique challenges we face, the sacrifices we make. I've spent countless nights in dimly lit bars, swapping stories with fellow comedians, laughing until our sides hurt. Those moments remind me that I'm not alone in this journey, that we're all navigating the same stormy seas. And then there are the fans, the people who come to my shows, who laugh at my jokes, who share their own stories with me. They remind me why I do this. I've had people approach me after shows, tears in their eyes, telling me how my jokes helped them through tough times, how laughter became their refuge. It's in those moments that I realize the power of comedy, the ability to heal, to connect, to bring people together. But even with the laughter, there are days when the weight of the world feels too heavy. I carry the stories of my people, the struggles of my community, the pain of my country. I often wonder if I'm doing enough, if my jokes are making a difference, if I'm using my platform wisely. It's a constant battle between the desire to entertain and the responsibility to speak out, to address the issues that plague our society. As I stand on that stage, I remind myself that laughter is a powerful weapon. It can challenge the status quo, provoke thought, and inspire change. I strive to be the voice of my generation, to use my humor to shine a light on the issues that matter. I want to create a space where people can laugh, but also reflect, where they can find solace in the absurdity of life while acknowledging the struggles we face. So here I am, a Nigerian comedian, navigating the complexities of life with laughter as my guide. Behind the laughs, there's a story, a journey, a struggle. But in every punchline, in every joke, there's also hope. Hope that one day we'll find a way to laugh together, to heal together, to rise together. Because in the end, laughter is not just about the jokes, it's about connection, about community, about the shared human experience. And that, my friends, is the greatest punchline of all.